The Roman Empire, a name synonymous with power, grandeur, and ruthless ambition. But beneath the polished marble statues and the echoes of triumphant legions lies a darker fascination, a spectacle that captivated millions across the empire, the brutal and bloody world of gladiatorial combat. In this series, we journey back in time to the heart of the Roman Empire, to the deafening roar of the Colosseum, to uncover the lives of the gladiators, the men and women who lived and died by the sword. These were the superstars of their time, their fates intertwined with the whims of emperors and the cheers of the masses. Join us as we delve into the origins of these brutal games, explore the training and lives of the gladiators, and uncover the stories of legendary figures who left their mark on the blood-soaked sands of the arena. Our story begins not in the heart of Rome, but in the shadows of a much older civilization, the Etruscans. For them, death was not an end, but a transition, a journey to the afterlife. And what journey could be more fitting for a warrior than one paved with the clash of steel? It was during Etruscan funeral rites that we find the earliest forms of gladiatorial combat. Armed men, fueled by grief and duty, would duel to the death, their blood spilled as a sacrifice to appease the spirits of the departed. As Rome rose to prominence, absorbing the traditions of conquered peoples, these ritualistic combats underwent a dramatic transformation. No longer confined to the solemn silence of funeral pyres, they were thrust onto a grand stage, evolving into public spectacles designed to entertain and awe. The arena, once a sacred space reserved for the dead, was reborn as a symbol of Roman power and entertainment. It was here, under the watchful eyes of emperors and the deafening roar of the crowd, that gladiators would etch their names into legend. But who were these gladiators? Step into the heart of the arena and prepare to be mesmerized by the sheer variety of gladiatorial combat. Each type of gladiator, distinguished by their unique armor, weapons, and fighting styles, brought their own deadly dance to the sands. Imagine the imposing figure of the Murmillo, heavily armored with a broad sword and a distinctive helmet adorned with a fish crest. He was the legionary of the arena, a symbol of Rome's military might, engaging in brutal close-quarters combat. Then there was the Retiarius, the netman, a nimble and agile warrior who relied on cunning and speed. Lightly armored, he wielded a trident and a net, seeking to ensnare and disarm his opponent before moving in for the kill. From the distant plains of Thrace came the Thracian, wielding a curved sword called a sikar and a small round shield. His fighting style, a whirlwind of agility and aggression, was a spectacle to behold. These are but a few examples of the diverse cast of gladiators who captivated Roman audiences. Each class, honed through centuries of tradition and innovation, offered a unique spectacle of skill, strength, and strategy. The Gallus, named after the fierce Celtic warriors, fought with a long sword and a small square shield, their fighting style reflecting the ferocity of their namesake. The Hoplomachus, armed with a spear and a small round shield, resembled the warriors of ancient Greece, their movements a blend of grace and deadly precision. And let us not forget the Proximus, often pitted against beasts in the arena. Armed with only a spear and minimal armor, their survival depended on agility, courage, and a deep understanding of their animal adversaries. The diversity of gladiatorial classes ensured that each contest was a unique spectacle, a clash of styles, strengths, and weaknesses. It was this constant interplay of skill and strategy, of brute force and cunning, that kept the crowds on the edge of their seats, their cheers echoing through the Colosseum. Chapter 3: Crucible of Steel. The Life and Training of a Gladiator. The path to becoming a gladiator was paved with sweat, blood, and relentless discipline. For those condemned to the arena, it was a fight for survival, a chance to earn glory or die trying. Their journey began in the Ludus, the gladiator school, a place where freedom was but a distant memory. Here, under the watchful eyes of the lanista, the gladiator trainer, they were forged into weapons of war. The lanista, a shrewd businessman with a keen eye for potential, held the power of life and death over his gladiators. He orchestrated their training, determined their fighting styles, and even leased them out, for private spectacles and public games. Training was brutal, designed to push the gladiators to the limits of their physical and mental endurance. They sparred with wooden swords, their bodies hardened by countless hours of exercise and combat drills. Their diet was strictly controlled, a blend of barley, beans and fatty meat designed to fuel their bodies for the rigors of combat. Sleep was a luxury, often cut short by the demands of their training regimen. But it was not just physical prowess that determined a gladiator's success. They were also schooled in the art of showmanship, taught to play to the crowd, to elicit cheers and gasps with their every move. For in the arena, survival depended not just on skill, but also on the fickle favor of the crowd. A skillful gladiator who could captivate the audience stood a better chance of earning a reprieve, even in defeat. Life in the ludus was harsh, unforgiving, and often short-lived. Yet within its brutal walls, a strange camaraderie often blossomed. Gladiators, bound together by their shared fate, formed strong bonds of brotherhood, relying on each other for support and strength in the face of death. Chapter 4. Legends of the Arena, Spartacus and Commodus, two icons, two destinies. The annals of Roman history are filled with tales of gladiatorial legend. Men and women whose names echoed through the Colosseum, their deeds whispered long after their final breaths. Today we remember two such figures: Spartacus, the slave who dared to defy an empire, and Commodus, the emperor who craved the adulation of the arena. Spartacus, a Thracian soldier condemned to slavery and the brutal life of a gladiator, refused to be defined by his chains. In 73 BC, he ignited a spark of rebellion that would engulf the Roman Republic in flames. He rallied his fellow gladiators, transforming them from captives into liberators. Their revolt, a desperate fight for freedom, shook the foundations of Roman power. Their victory is a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who dared to challenge their oppressors. Though Spartacus's rebellion was ultimately crushed, his legend lived on, a symbol of resistance against tyranny, his name whispered in hushed tones by those who dared to dream of a world without masters. Commodus, the son of Marcus Aurelius, ascended to the throne with a heart consumed by vanity and a lust for the adoration of the masses. He saw in the gladiatorial arena not a stage for slaves and criminals, but a platform for his own twisted desires. Casting aside the dignity of his office, Commodus donned the armor of a gladiator, entering the arena to satisfy his insatiable ego. He rigged contests in his favor, demanding his opponents fight with blunted swords, his victories hollow echoes of true gladiatorial valor. His reign, a dark chapter in Roman history, serves as a cautionary tale of power unchecked and the corrupting influence of absolute authority. Commodus's obsession with the arena, a stark contrast to Spartacus's fight for freedom, reveals the complex and often contradictory nature of gladiatorial combat. Chapter 5. Sisters of the Sand Unveiling, the Untold Story of Female Gladiators. The history of gladiatorial combat is often portrayed as a male-dominated spectacle, a brutal ballet of strength and aggression fought exclusively by men. But this perception, shaped by centuries of assumption, obscures a fascinating truth. Women too fought and died on the sands of the arena. These women, known as gladiatrices, defied the rigid gender roles of Roman society. Their presence in the arena a testament to their courage, skill, and determination. Though their stories are often relegated to the footnotes of history, their existence challenges our understanding of this brutal world. Evidence of female gladiators emerges from various sources. Fragments of inscriptions on ancient tombstones, depictions on mosaics and pottery, and even accounts from Roman historians, albeit often tinged with disapproval or fascination. These women, often from backgrounds as diverse as their male counterparts, may have been slaves seeking to fight for their freedom, or freeborn women drawn to the allure of the arena and the thrill of combat. Their training, though likely as rigorous as that endured by male gladiators, remains shrouded in mystery. Did they train alongside men, or were they segregated? Their skills honed in separate quarters of the ludus. What weapons did they favor? Did they specialize in particular fighting styles, or did they adapt to the demands of the arena? Their skills honed through countless hours of practice and bloody combat. The answers to these questions remain elusive, lost to the sands of time. Yet the very existence of female gladiators challenges us to look beyond traditional narratives, to acknowledge their presence in this most brutal of Roman spectacles. Their stories, though fragmented and incomplete, serve as a powerful reminder that courage, strength, and the pursuit of glory are not confined by gender, but are qualities that transcend the boundaries of time and societal norms. Outro echoes of glory. The enduring legacy of gladiatorial combat, the world of the gladiators, though long faded into the mists of time, continues to captivate our imaginations. It speaks to our fascination with courage, skill, and the human drama that unfolds when life hangs in the balance. From the blood-soaked sands of the Colosseum to the pages of history books, the legacy of gladiatorial combat endures, a reminder of a time when empires were built on the clash of steel and the roar of the crowd. If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of the Roman arena, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more explorations of history's most captivating corners, and share this episode with your friends. Let's keep the stories alive.